There is a quiet truth about human nature that most people prefer not to acknowledge. It is subtle, almost invisible, yet it shapes nearly every social interaction, every opportunity, and every first impression. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago, long before modern psychology began to study perception, status cues, and social heuristics. He knew that people respond less to who you truly are and more to what they perceive you to be. And in a world where perception often precedes reality, how you present yourself becomes its own form of silent influence. Looking poor, even if it is your temporary situation, tells a psychological story before you ever speak. It signals vulnerability, lack of resources, and diminished influence. Not because poverty makes someone lesser, but because humans unconsciously associate appearances with capability, stability, and competence. We are wired to assess risk, safety, and value rapidly. This is not moral, it is biological. And Machiavelli saw this long before brain science could explain it, when he advised leaders to appear certain ways regardless of their internal state. He wasn't promoting deception. He was promoting survival in a world where people judge quickly, treat you according to their expectations, and often fail to look deeper. Most people are not looking into your character, your work ethic, or your sincerity. They are looking at the signals you broadcast without knowing it. You do not need wealth to avoid looking poor. You do not need luxury to avoid signaling struggle. What Machiavelli really meant was that you should never present yourself as powerless, disposable, or easily overlooked. Because once the world sees you through that lens, it becomes harder to shift their perception back into your favor. This is not about vanity. It is not about pretending to be rich. It is about maintaining dignity, self-respect, and strategic presence even during difficult seasons. It is about understanding that appearance is not just decoration, it is communication. And in a world governed by subtle psychological cues, the person who understands what they are silently communicating gains an advantage without ever raising their voice. Now, let us explore 6 quiet Machiavellian reasons why you should never look poor, even if you are, and how this understanding can reshape the way you move through the world. Number 1, people treat you according to the image you project. People rely on shortcuts when forming impressions, and psychologists refer to this instinctive process as thin slicing. It is the human tendency to form judgments within seconds based on limited information, often picking up on subtle cues like posture, grooming, clothing cleanliness, and overall composure. Research in social psychology, including studies by Nalini Ambadi, shows that people can accurately judge traits such as confidence, competence, and emotional stability in as little as half a second. This is not about superficiality. It is about how the human brain has evolved to make rapid decisions for survival. In modern life, those snap impressions influence how people treat you, the opportunities they offer you, and the level of respect they grant. When someone appears disorganized, unkempt, or visibly struggling, observers may subconsciously associate those signals with instability, unreliability, or vulnerability. It doesn't mean the person actually lacks competence or strength, but the visual cues create mental narratives before any words are exchanged. Looking poor, in this psychological context, isn't about wealth or luxury. It's about the signals you unintentionally send. If your appearance communicates exhaustion, chaos, or lack of control, others may instinctively lower their expectations of you. Feel pity rather than respect, or assume you have little influence or authority. This impacts everything from social interactions to workplace dynamics. But when you maintain a clean, composed, and intentional appearance, you are not pretending to be wealthy. You are signaling stability, self-awareness, and self-respect. Something as simple as wearing well-fitted clothes, maintaining good hygiene, and carrying yourself with calm posture can alter how people perceive your presence. Studies in behavioral psychology consistently show that a put-together appearance boosts perceived competence by up to 30%, even before someone speaks. In everyday life, this means fewer dismissive interactions, more attentive service, stronger first impressions, and smoother social exchanges. Your appearance becomes a form of nonverbal communication that works on your behalf instead of against you. Presenting yourself well also reinforces your own mindset. When you look composed, your brain responds with increased confidence due to a phenomenon known as enclothed cognition, where the things you wear influence your psychological state and decision-making. This internal shift radiates outward and shapes how others interpret your energy. Ultimately, maintaining a deliberate appearance is not vanity, it is strategy. It ensures that when people thin slice you, they see someone competent, grounded, and worthy of respect. Number 2, Machiavelli's rule: power must be appeared, not proved. Machiavelli emphasized a timeless psychological truth. Influence is rarely about what you actually possess, but rather what others believe you possess. In his view, power is built on perception long before it is built on reality. This doesn't mean being deceptive or pretending to be someone you're not. It means understanding the human mind and how people naturally respond to signals of strength, stability, and self-respect. In society, humans instinctively evaluate one another using subtle cues: posture, tone of voice, grooming, confidence, preparedness, and emotional composure. These cues shape assumptions about your competence and value before you ever speak a word. When your internal resources are limited, it becomes even more important not to project signals of helplessness, desperation, or lack of agency. In psychological studies on impression formation, researchers consistently find that people make lasting judgments based on the first few seconds of interaction. If your appearance displays neglect or defeat, people unconsciously categorize you as someone with little influence, low resilience, or limited capability. Machiavelli believed that people treat you based on these surface signals, not your hidden potential. This is why he advised rulers to always look competent, organized, and in control, even during moments of internal uncertainty. In everyday life, this principle applies more than people realize. A person who dresses neatly, speaks calmly, and carries themselves with quiet assurance is automatically granted more respect than someone who appears chaotic or worn down, even if their financial or social situations are similar. Behavioral psychologists call this the halo effect, the tendency for one positive trait, like confidence or good grooming, to influence how all other traits are perceived. When you look put together, people assume you're disciplined. When you remain composed under pressure, people assume you're competent. When you speak with emotional steadiness, people assume you're trustworthy. These assumptions often lead to better opportunities, kinder treatment, and more room to negotiate in social or professional environments. Machiavelli understood this long before modern science studied it. People respond to symbols of power, not the internal reality behind those symbols. Maintaining this perception does not require wealth, luxury, or expensive displays. It requires intentional presentation, clean clothing, good hygiene, thoughtful communication, and an inner calm that shows you are not easily defeated by life. You want to be seen as someone who stands on their own feet, someone whose presence communicates order rather than weakness. When others believe you are capable, they interact with you differently. They hesitate before disrespecting you. They think twice before trying to manipulate you. Machiavelli's message is ultimately practical. By managing how you present yourself, you shape how the world treats you. Even when your resources are limited, your dignity, composure, and self-respect can make you impossible to dismiss. Number 3, predators target the vulnerable. Appearing poor in the psychological sense goes far beyond money. It is about the signals a person unconsciously broadcasts through posture, expression, grooming, and energy. In psychology, this is known as risk assessment behavior, a natural mechanism all humans use to decide whether someone is a potential ally, threat, or resource. Manipulators, abusers, and opportunists rely heavily on this instinct. They scan for signs of weakness, the same way predators in nature look for an animal that limps or strays from the herd. When someone appears neglected, stressed, or disorganized, it quietly communicates vulnerability, reduced confidence, lower alertness, and a weakened emotional guard. This is why people with chaotic lives often attract individuals who want to take advantage of them. Not because they deserve harm, but because predators move where resistance is lowest. Research in behavioral psychology shows that individuals who carry themselves with order and intentionality are statistically less likely to be targeted for manipulation, including financial scams, narcissistic relationships, and workplace exploitation. Even subtle cues like eye contact, personal grooming, and clean clothing can shift how others categorize you within seconds. Social scientists call this thin slicing, the brain's ability to make quick judgments based on minimal information. Presenting yourself with physical, emotional, and mental order sends a signal of boundaries. It tells the world you are self-respecting and attentive, and therefore not easy to deceive. This does not mean pretending to be wealthy or impressing others with fake status. Rather, it is about displaying self-control, stability, and awareness. A well-organized appearance mirrors a well-organized mind, and people instinctively treat those individuals with more caution and respect. This is why, even in situations of financial struggle, embodying structure and composure can dramatically reduce the likelihood of being targeted by opportunists. It is also why many victims of manipulation report that once they began taking better care of themselves, setting boundaries, and improving their external presentation, the toxic people in their lives suddenly pulled away. Predators dislike effort. They move on when they sense strength, even quiet strength. Understanding this psychological principle empowers you to protect yourself without pretending to be someone you are not. You do not have to be rich to appear strong. You only need to appear like someone who values themselves enough to maintain order, clarity, and self-respect. This alone changes how the world interacts with you. Number 4, respect often follows stability. Cues. Research in behavioral psychology consistently shows that humans instinctively associate neatness, grooming, and composure with responsibility, self-discipline, and trustworthiness. This response is not merely cultural, it is rooted in cognitive shortcuts the brain uses to assess threat, stability, and competence. When someone appears put together, even in simple clothing, the mind reads it as evidence of inner order. You do not need luxury brands or designer outfits to send this message. In fact, Machiavelli himself emphasized that appearances do not have to be extravagant. They only have to be intentional. A clean pair of shoes, a shirt that fits well, a groomed face, and a calm posture quietly signal that you take care of what is yours. And a person who manages small things is often perceived as someone capable of managing bigger things. This is why in workplaces, leadership settings, and even everyday social interactions, individuals who maintain a neat appearance are subconsciously granted more credibility. They are assumed to be more reliable, more structured, and more emotionally balanced. Simplicity, contrary to popular belief, can be a form of power. When you look clean and composed, people project competence onto you. It creates a narrative without you having to say a word. And Machiavelli understood this deeply. He wrote that the appearance of stability earns more respect than loud proclamations of virtue. People trust what they can see, not what they are told. A neat exterior suggests an organized interior. Even in modern psychology, the halo effect proves that one positive trait, such as looking put together, causes observers to attribute additional positive qualities like intelligence, strength, and reliability, whether or not they are truly present. This is why individuals who appear poor or chaotic, even if they are intelligent or talented, often struggle to be taken seriously. The external disorder overshadows their inner value. But the opposite is also true. A person with limited financial resources can still create an aura of competence through simplicity, cleanliness, and quiet confidence. You are not judged by the price of what you wear. You are judged by the intention behind it. Neatness tells a story, and people believe stories more than explanations. In a world where impressions shape opportunities, looking like you can manage yourself becomes a form of strategy. Machiavelli would say it this way: power begins with perception, and perception begins the moment someone lays eyes on you. Number 5, you influence how you see yourself. Your appearance doesn't just affect others. It shapes the architecture of your internal world, influencing your confidence, mindset, and daily behavior in ways most people never consciously notice. Psychology calls this phenomenon enclothed cognition, a term coined by researchers Hajo Adam and Adam Galinsky to describe how the clothes you wear directly impact your emotional state, your attention, and even your performance. When you dress with intention, especially during difficult seasons, you're not trying to impress the world. You're reinforcing something within yourself. You're telling your mind, I am still in control. This becomes a subtle but powerful psychological lever that helps you maintain stability when life feels unsteady. Stoic philosophy teaches the same principle, though in different language. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about mastering one's internal environment by commanding one's thoughts and actions, not letting external chaos decide who you become. In this sense, the way you present yourself is one of the few things you can control when circumstances around you feel overwhelming. You might not control the economy, people's behavior, or unexpected hardships, but you absolutely control how you show up to meet those challenges. Dressing intentionally becomes a daily act of discipline, a small ritual that aligns your outer world with your inner values. There's also a biological component to this. Studies show that when you feel put together, your brain releases small amounts of dopamine, the neurotransmitter associated with motivation and reward. This is why getting dressed properly in the morning can instantly elevate your mood and sharpen your focus. You're not changing your life instantly, but you are changing your chemistry. And over time, tiny chemical shifts stack into long-term psychological resilience. People often think discipline is built through major life changes, but it's actually created through micro behaviors like grooming yourself, choosing clothing that aligns with the identity you're trying to build, and maintaining a consistent standard even on days when no one is watching. This is where appearance becomes more than aesthetics. It becomes an anchor of self-respect. When you look in the mirror and see someone who hasn't given up on themselves, it becomes harder to act in ways that contradict that image. Humans naturally move toward consistency between who they appear to be and who they believe they are. So, when your appearance reflects strength, effort, and intention, your actions begin to follow the same path. In the end, controlling your appearance is not vanity. It is self-governance. It is the practice of choosing your identity every morning, reminding yourself that even if life shakes you, you still decide how you stand. This is what the Stoics meant by controlling the controllable, and you can always control how you show up. Number 6, opportunities flow toward those who appear ready. People give chances to those who seem prepared, because human beings naturally judge competence through signals long before any words are spoken. Employers, partners, mentors, and allies respond more positively when your presentation communicates dignity, order, and readiness. This is not about pretending to be wealthy or living beyond your means. It is about understanding a psychological truth that thinkers like Machiavelli observed centuries ago. In his writings, Machiavelli explained that people form alliances and place their trust where they sense stability and capability. When you appear disorganized, unkempt, or financially strained, others may unconsciously assume you cannot handle additional responsibility. Modern psychology confirms this through the halo effect, where people attribute positive traits to those who look composed and negative traits to those who seem troubled, even if both individuals have equal ability. Looking poor can unintentionally send the message that you are overwhelmed or lacking control, which makes others hesitant to invest opportunities, time, or resources into you. Machiavelli would advise the opposite. Present yourself in a way that signals strength, competence, and self-respect, because these cues shape how society treats you. This does not require luxury. It requires intention. Cleanliness, neatness, calm body language, and well-maintained clothing already elevate perception. In everyday life, people instinctively trust and follow those who appear capable, organized, and steady. By improving your outward presence, you are not being deceptive. You are communicating your inner discipline in a language the world naturally understands. In a competitive world, presentation becomes an investment, one that shapes first impressions, opens doors, and amplifies the opportunities that come your way.